This is Mark Montana, Mission Mark vs. Wild, and today we are in the Pennsylvania wilds. Today I will be showing you how to survive in the Pennsylvania wilds. My equipment are my hat and my Arctic gloves. Everything else is just a normal, run-of-the-mill, average person's winter clothing. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to build a shelter because it is getting late and it's getting a little colder. That's pretty bad. Okay. Another important part to making a winter shelter is scavenging, because in the Pennsylvania wilds, most people go hunting and they leave litter. Another thing is you gotta watch where you step. I could have broken my ankle and I would have died. Oh, I see some plywood. Hopefully it's big enough and sturdy enough to make a shelter out of. As you can see, this is a large piece of plywood. Most of the time you're not going to find something like this, but I really lucked out with this. When you are building a shelter, it is a key fact to look for dry standing timber, such as the sycamore tree. It looks like it died about 10 years ago, but it's still standing, and dry rot has not gotten to it. You should probably break it off, such as this. That worked very well. Okay, now I'm going to build a shelter. It's pretty tough, so I'm not going to be able to talk to you the whole time. Remember the sycamore tree had two branches. One is laying on the ground now, the other is still standing. This one was a little bit more tough to get off than the other one. Got it though. Okay, another important fact when building a shelter is look at the ground around you. Make sure you see no animal tracks or large prey tracks. These logs are heavy, so be careful, and if you have somebody here to help you, that's a good thing. Now I'm going to clear out the snow so I have a nice bed. As you can see, we have the startings of a nice floor shelter. This is a tripod style shelter because it has 3 support devices. It's important to clear off the ground so you don't get wet and cold. That's not good. Now I'll finish building my shelter. Now I know you may be thinking, this isn't going to cover up my feet. I am 6 foot 2 inches tall. That has nothing to do with this. When it's cold like this, you are going to bundle up and curl up in almost a fetal position. And it's important to keep a low roof because it will keep your body heat in and close to you. Tonight is not a good night for survival. It's very, very cold. It's about -12. Wind chill's about -20. It's just rough. I was not prepared at all for this. I'm hearing animals walking around. I know it's winter, but I'm pretty sure that the bears aren't in hibernation yet because it is pretty early in the winter season. It's about end of November. just in case I got my caveman club here. It's probably not going to do much against the grizzly, but who knows.
Go.
Right now I'm going to set some snare traps to catch some hopefully small game that's not in hibernation yet. The key idea to this is that you stay close to your shelter so you don't get lost. I am alone. I have no one here to back me up. Okay, we've been walking for about a quarter mile now. I see some tracks here. They look like deer tracks to me. Deer cannot be caught with a snare trap. We'll keep going. Okay, about another half mile from the deer tracks, I found what seemed to be possibly raccoon tracks. Not sure though, so I'm going to set up a snare, and I would appreciate it if you watched. It's important not to disturb the tracks, as I have just done. Oh, it looks like the animal is coming this way though. So here goes my snare. I recommend taking your gloves off for this. It is very delicate work. Hey, it's about a half hour later than I wanted it to be. There was a whiteout. I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face, so we had to stop recording. This is the actual snare in the trap. The rabbit comes under here. It gets spooked by these and stays still, which gives it time enough to set the trigger, and it'll snap up like this. And it'll be dangling right about where my gloves are. Okay, it's my first night in the shelter. It's still light out though. I just want to get an early start on tomorrow morning. Okay, now that I have my light on, it seems even brighter. I may need this light for scaring away other animals. I'm not sure if I'll need it though. It's so cold. I mean, look at it out here. There's my roof of my shelter. The support beam. Another support beam. Those were dry when I got them. This is just accumulation over the past couple hours. I can't believe how cold it is. I've never been more cold in my life. My Arctic gloves, my Arctic hat are working pretty well, but everything else is just numb to the core. Oh, in the morning I'm gonna have to get up and check my snares, see if they got anything. It's starting to fire with all this wet, frozen wood. Isn't gonna be fun to cook it. They're my Arctic gloves. They're about frozen solid. I don't know what to do about that. It's never happened to me before. So I've never been in an environment where it's this cold.